Imagine, imagine inventing the perfect product, like the ultimate thing.
Oh, right, the holy grail for any creator.
Yeah, exactly. And you actually managed to get it in front of millions of highly motivated shoppers on a massive national television broadcast.
Sounds like a dream come true.
Right. You sell out your entire inventory in like 3 minutes flat. It feels like the ultimate victory.
Until it isn't.
Exactly. Because then a few weeks later, you realize you are going completely bankrupt. And it's all because you didn't do the hidden math before you stepped in front of those cameras.
It happens so much more often than people think.
Yeah.
Getting featured on a major live shopping network, I mean, is a massive opportunity.
Oh, huge.
But it is also just loaded with these hidden traps that can completely destroy an unprepared business.
So that's our mission for this deep dive today. We're going to unpack the exact playbook for surviving and thriving on the Home Shopping Network, or HSN.
It is an incredibly high-stakes environment. We are looking at a stage in the consumer market that is highly sought after, but, fiercely guarded.
Fiercely guarded is a great way to put it. And we're pulling our roadmap for this directly from an expert guide by Johann Jacob.
Yeah, the president and founder of Retailbound.
Right, which is a consultancy that specializes in helping brands launch and scale their products across hundreds of retailers in the US and Canada.
And he spent years navigating this specific terrain. I mean, the insights from Retailbound give us a really clear view of what actually happens behind closed doors.
Like when buyers are deciding what makes it onto the screen.
Exactly. What gets screen time, what gets immediately rejected, and critically, how brands need to prepare before they even ask for a meeting.
So whether you are an entrepreneur trying to get your big break, a product designer, or, just fascinated by the hidden mechanics of television and retail, you are going to learn the unwritten rules of live TV selling today.
Because before you can sell a single item to those millions of viewers, you really have to know exactly who is watching.
And perhaps more importantly, you have to understand the people who hold the keys to the channel.
You really cannot craft a successful pitch if you don't fundamentally understand the network's DNA. I mean, HSN isn't just an isolated channel floating out there in the cable universe.
Right, it's part of a much bigger machine.
Exactly. It's part of the massive Core 8 retail group, which they also own QVC. Together, they represent this retail empire that has literally spent decades perfecting the psychology of live selling.
When we talk about that psychology, I imagine the viewer profile for HSN is quite specific. Like, these aren't people just leaving the television on as background noise while they, fold laundry.
Oh, no. The data shows they are incredibly engaged. The HSN audience is a loyal, diverse demographic, and they're actively hunting.
Hunting, I like that word for it.
Yeah, they're tuning in with the specific intent to discover something. The primary categories that perform exceptionally well for this audience are things like fashion, beauty, electronics, and home improvement.
But there's a core driver there, right?
Yes. The reason a product gets chosen by the network is that HSN buyers want products that solve very specific problems.
Okay, so problem solving is key.
Crucial. They need obvious, strong market demand, alignment with current consumer trends, and just undeniable added value.
So it's not a passive digital catalog. It's more like a highly curated live-action search engine for people looking to fix a specific annoyance in their everyday lives.
That's a great analogy. And taking it a step further, they aren't just searching for any solution. They are searching for an exclusive solution.
Exclusive.
Right. The criteria are incredibly strict on that front.
Okay, wait, let me push back on that exclusivity requirement for a moment. If the audience just wants practical solutions to their daily annoyances, does a product really have to be wildly innovative?
What do you mean?
Well, say I invent a really solid, basic garlic press. It works perfectly, never breaks, simple to clean, is being incredibly useful enough to get you on air.
The reality of the HSN model is that usefulness is merely the baseline. It is not the selling point. Uniqueness is a primary criterion for the buyers.
So a good garlic press just isn't enough?
No, because if your garlic press is just a very good, standard garlic press, the viewer can easily buy that at their local grocery store. Or, order it on Amazon with one click.
Oh, right. There's no urgency.
Exactly. There's no incentive for them to pick up the phone or go to the HSN website right then and there. Your garlic press has to feature a peeling mechanism no one has ever seen before.
Or come in like some crazy unique color.
Right. Or bundled with a set of prep tools in a colorway they cannot find anywhere else. Exclusivity is what actually creates the urgency to buy it during that specific broadcast.
Okay, so since the buyer is ruthlessly hunting for these exclusive, urgent solutions, the physical and financial prep work leading up to a pitch must be pretty intense.
Intense is an understatement.
You can't just show up to a meeting with a prototype and a dream, right?
Far from it.
Hmm.
The analysis from Retailbound details a massive amount of required homework before you even draft an email to a buyer.
What's the very first thing they suggest?
The very first step they recommend is actually watching HSN segments obsessively. You have to absorb their presentation style.
But what are we actually looking for when we watch? Are we just looking at how the hosts smile? Or, I don't know, is there a specific structural element to the broadcast?
You are looking for the mechanics of the sale. You need to understand the rhythm and the language they use.
Your rhythm of the sale.
Yeah. Notice how a host never spends more than 15 seconds talking about a technical specification before immediately pivoting to an emotional benefit.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that timing.
It's very precise. They won't just say a vacuum cleaner has a 20-volt loader. They will immediately demonstrate how that motor pulls stubborn pet hair out of a rug in a single swipe.
Saving you 20 minutes of cleaning before guests arrive.
Exactly. It's all about the emotional payoff. You have to learn how your own product can fit into that rapid, benefit-driven cadence.
Okay, so once you understand that language, the source material points to two massive physical and financial hurdles you have to clear.
Yes, packaging and pricing.
Right. Let's start with packaging. The guide stresses that packaging has to be visually appealing, professional, informative, and quickly communicate your brand identity.
Which makes sense for retail.
But wait, if the product is being demonstrated out of the box, live on camera by a TV host, why does the physical box matter?
That's a common misconception.
Because the viewer at home is watching the host chop vegetables or apply the makeup. They aren't staring at the cardboard.
It seems counterintuitive, I know, but the viewer isn't your first audience. The packaging must first catch the eye of the HSN buyer who acts as the ultimate gatekeeper.
Ah. So the buyer is the audience for the box.
That is the crucial hurdle. An HSN buyer is reviewing hundreds, sometimes thousands of products every quarter.
Wow, thousands.
Imagine walking into a meeting and handing them a plain brown box with barcodes slapped on it. Compare that by handing them a sleek, retail-ready box with clear infographics.
Infographics that instantly communicate the problem the product solves, right?
Exactly. And the demographic it targets. If your packaging is confusing or looks cheap, they will pass immediately. They do not have the time to investigate a mystery box to figure out if the product inside is any good.
It essentially signals to the buyer that you are a professional operation capable of handling retail at scale.
Furthermore, when the customer finally receives the product at home, that unboxing experience has to reinforce the premium nature of what they just bought off the television.
Oh, so if it arrives in flimsy packaging.
It generates returns, and returns are the absolute enemy of a successful HSN partnership.
Okay, that makes total sense. Now, if packaging is a hidden hurdle, pricing has to be an absolute minefield.
It really is.
Because if you get the pricing wrong on national television, the scale of the disaster is magnified.
Pricing is where so many brands completely derail their business. Your pricing has to be competitive, but there is a hidden math problem you have to solve long before you pitch.
What's the hidden math?
Well, HSN is famous for special offers, limited time pricing, and on-air discounts.
Yeah.
That is a core component of their conversion strategy to drive immediate sales.
Okay, let's map out a quick scenario to see how this breaks down. Let's say I invent a kitchen gadget.
Okay, kitchen gadget.
It costs me $20 to manufacture. Normally, I retail it for $40. I might think I'm safe with a $20 profit margin, right?
You might think so.
But if I go on HSN, they're going to demand a promotional flash sale, maybe dropping the price to $30 for the broadcast.
And that is before you factor in the network's commission.
Wait, their commission?
Yes. The network takes a significant cut of every sale for providing the airtime, the hosts, the production, and, the massive audience.
Oh, man. So if they mandate a discount that drops the retail price to $30 and then they take their percentage?
Your take-home might drop to $15 per unit.
On a product that cost me $20 to make.
Exactly. You are losing $5 on every single unit sold.
And if you sell 10,000 units in 3 minutes, you just lost $50,000 on national television.
It's a reverse auction trap.
That is terrifying. So you have to build the TV discount cushion into your baseline margins before you ever set the retail price.
You cannot walk into a pitch meeting with razor-thin margins. You have to factor in the network's cut, the cost of potential returns, the shipping logistics, and those inevitable on-air discounts that drive the hype.
And if you can't?
If your financial model cannot absorb a sudden promotional flash sale and still yield a profit, you are fundamentally not prepared for the home shopping network.
Wow. Okay, so assuming you have done the homework, you have the shiny, instantly understandable retail box, and you have these resilient profit margins that can survive a sudden live TV discount.
The big if.
Right. How do you actually get these network gatekeepers to take a meeting and say yes?
The pitch phase is essentially a gauntlet of approval. There are a few established avenues for submission. HSN has an online submission portal, which is, the standard front door route.
Does the front door actually work?
It can, but attending specific industry trade shows to get face time with buyers is often more effective. And leveraging industry insiders or hiring a consultancy like Retailbound that already has established relationships with these buyers can really help bypass the initial slush pile.
Regardless of how you get into the room, Johann Jacob highlights a massive mistake people make once they start pitching. He warns strongly against overhyping your product.
Yes, very strongly.
Which honestly feels completely counterintuitive. We are talking about television. Isn't hype the entire point of the medium?
On air, enthusiasm and high energy are necessary. But in the boardroom, hype is a massive liability.
Really?
You cannot make wild, unsubstantiated claims to a retail buyer. If a buyer puts your product on national television and it fails to do what you promised, it damages HSN's reputation.
Not to mention the returns.
Right. It results in massive return rates, and that directly impacts the buyer's career.
It sounds a lot more like defending a thesis to a venture capitalist than filming a late-night infomercial.
That's a perfect comparison.
You can't just be the loudest person in the room. You have to bring the receipts.
You are asking them for an investment of their most valuable and limited asset, which is airtime. To secure that, you must bring concrete data.
What kind of data are we talking about?
Well, you need clinical trials if it's a beauty product. You need verified testimonials, independent reviews, and case studies that absolutely validate the product's value and durability.
Okay, and once you make that pitch, you enter a grueling review process. The source mentions that navigating the follow-up during these multiple rounds of review is incredibly tricky.
Oh, it is. It's a delicate balance.
It advises that polite persistence pays off, but warns against being pushy. Where exactly is the line between persistence and just annoying a buyer until they block your email address?
The differentiator between being a pest and being a partner is value. Annoying the buyer is sending an email every 3 days asking, "Have you made a decision yet?"
Right, nobody likes that.
No, it just creates inbox clutter. Professional, value-driven persistence is following up only when you have new, relevant information to share.
So instead of asking for an update, you reach out to say, "We just received a fantastic write-up in a major trade publication."
Exactly. Or, "We've upgraded the packaging based on your initial feedback during our meeting."
That is such a smart pivot.
That approach demonstrates professionalism and a genuine enthusiasm for building a partnership rather than just demanding a transaction. It keeps you on their radar in a positive light while they're running your product through their quality assurance teams.
And I imagine that QA process is no joke.
It is rigorous. If you claim your product is waterproof, their team is going to test that to its absolute limit before they ever let it near a camera.
Okay, so let's say you survived the gauntlet. You brought the data instead of the hype, your margins are padded, you navigated the follow-ups with perfect value-driven persistence, and you get the green light.
The best feeling in the world.
You are booked. The red camera light turns on. What does that actual environment feel like?
The live execution is an incredibly intense high-wire act. You are dealing with unforgiving time constraints.
How much time do you actually get?
Sometimes you only have 6 or 7 minutes to make your entire case to the audience.
And you are out there live on the floor.
Yes. And while you are maintaining an enthusiastic, polished demeanor, you are simultaneously handling live Q&A with the hosts.
Sounds like chaos.
It gets wilder. Meanwhile, the host is receiving real-time instructions in their earpiece from a producer in the control room.
Oh, right, because they're tracking the sales live.
Exactly. If the blue model is selling twice as fast as the red model, the producer will tell the host to pivot immediately and push the blue one. As the brand representative, you have to follow that pivot seamlessly without missing a beat on your key product features.
Man, I can't even imagine the adrenaline of watching the sales counter tick up in real time while trying to remember your talking points.
It's definitely a rush.
But the guide makes a very strong point that the real work doesn't end when the broadcast is over, does it?
Not at all. This is where so many brands leave substantial money on the table. A single TV spot is just a springboard.
So you can't just celebrate and go home.
You cannot simply sit back, high-five your team, and wait for the checks to clear. You must leverage that HSN feature aggressively.
Because the footage itself is a massive asset.
It was an incredibly powerful marketing tool. You take that broadcast footage and you blast it across all your social media channels. You integrate it into your email newsletters.
Put it on the homepage, I assume.
Absolutely. You feature it prominently on the landing page of your own website. Being able to say your product is as seen on HSN carries a tremendous amount of institutional credibility.
It really does. It acts as a nationally televised certificate of authenticity, for consumers who might be discovering you for the first time online.
It builds trust instantly.
So if you are planning your overall retail strategy, the actual TV broadcast isn't your finish line. It is your ultimate marketing asset.
Yeah.
Furthermore, the source emphasizes aggressively encouraging the new buyers who purchase during the broadcast to leave reviews. Why is that post-show engagement so critical to the network?
Because the objective is not just a one-time sales spike from a single Tuesday afternoon broadcast.
It's about the long game.
Right. The objective is proving your reliability and your commitment to quality to your HSN contacts.
It's essentially an audition for round 2.
Exactly. If you can handle the logistics of a massive influx of orders without a single shipping hitch, and if the product gets stellar reviews from their viewers once it arrives in their homes, you secure repeat features.
And that's where the real money is.
You transition from a one-off segment to a long-term lucrative partnership. But if you drop the ball on fulfillment after the cameras turn off, you will never get invited back to the network.
Looking at this entire journey, the sheer complexity really stands out. We started by understanding the Core 8 ecosystem, recognizing that HSN viewers are a highly specialized audience looking for exclusive problem-solving innovations.
Not just a better garlic press.
Right. And then we dug into the vital prep work, running the math to ensure your financial margins can survive live, on-air discounts without bankrupting your company.
And designing packaging that sells the buyer before it ever reaches the viewer.
We also explored the critical nature of the pitch itself, replacing empty hype with verifiable data, treating the buyer meeting with the same rigor as a venture capital pitch.
And mastering the art of polite, value-driven follow-ups rather than pestering.
Yes, no annoying emails. And finally, turning a few minutes of terrifying, adrenaline-fueled airtime into a lasting corporate partnership by using the broadcast as a marketing springboard and executing flawlessly on fulfillment.
It is a massive undertaking, which is exactly why consultancies like Retailbound exist.
They specialize in helping startups and established brands navigate this incredibly intimidating landscape, right?
So you don't step on a financial landmine you didn't even know was there. It is a complex ecosystem that absolutely requires a map and a guide if you haven't navigated it before.
Because the stakes are just too high to guess your way through it.
Way too high.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thread to ponder. Something that builds on everything we've explored today about this tightly controlled retail environment.
It's a fascinating shift to think about.
It really is. HSN has spent decades perfecting this highly vetted, high-stakes model of live shopping. The gatekeepers are strict, the data is verified, and the production is flawless. But today, anyone with a smartphone can start a live shopping stream on social media from their bedroom or their garage.
The barrier to entry for live selling has virtually disappeared.
So as social commerce grows into this multi-billion-dollar space where anyone can sell anything live to their followers, what can independent creators and digital influencers learn from HSN's strict playbook?
There's so much they could adapt.
Right. Think about the requirement for data-backed problem solving, the necessity of building in discount margins before you go live, and the emphasis on lasting partnerships over quick cash grabs.
It's night and day compared to some of these internet streams.
Exactly. Will the chaotic, unregulated world of internet live streaming eventually be forced to adopt the rigorous old-school rules of the home shopping network to survive long-term? Or is the traditional HSN model going to have to adapt to the raw, unfiltered speed of the internet?
The collision of those two approaches to live selling is going to completely redefine the retail landscape in the next few years.
It really makes you wonder what happens when those millions of motivated shoppers move their attention away from their television sets and entirely onto their phone screens. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Keep asking questions, keep looking behind the curtain, and we will see you next time.